tough one. We've had some good performances this year, but probably beating Dispatch CC, first game on tour, the complete performance.
Warwickshire home, one-day game. We were up against it, and then Stephen Peters ran the good player Ian Bell out with a diving effort, and then we nicked off Yusuf Yohana or Yunus Khan, one of them two, and managed to beat Warwickshire, which was a great result, and it was a great atmosphere at the ground.
I reckon it was at Leicester, at Grace Road. We rallied well for the first two and a half days, and then blew them away on the last one, Brooksy and Lukey. Bowled them out for 40 odd, was it? So yeah, that was probably it.
Oh, it's got to be the Pro 40 against Warwickshire when we were right up against it, and then a magnificent run out by Stephen Peters, yourself there, turned the match, and then the rest is history.
The 4-day game against Glamorgan.
Couple spring to mind, bowling Leicester out for 48 in the championship game at their place, getting a day off, and really enjoyed beating Hampshire down at the Rose Bowl under the lights.
I'd have to say Leicester away, when we bowled them out for 80. Got runs on the board, and personally I got 5 for, Brooksy got 5 for.
Did we get a day off?
Most importantly, Steve, we got a day off.
Best team performance. Not been involved with many. Seemed to lose when I played, but probably Dispatch at the start of the season was pretty good on the pre-season tour. Good game.
Well, I think our best team performance this year has to be the game against Leicester when we managed to bowl them out for 48.
There's been a few beginning of the year. I think the Leicester at Grace Road when Lee Daggett got his first class 50, and then the boys bowled him out for a low score, and we won with a day and a half to go.
Mine would definitely be Jack Brooks and Dave Lucas dominating against Leicestershire, which got us a day off.
Grace Road against Leicestershire in the Championship. Ended up bowling them out for 48 on the third morning. Dave Lucas and me ripped through them, dominated it.
For me, it's got to be Damien Martin's 61 against Leicester, coming as a night watchman. Thought Mardo batted beautifully. It's got to be the best individual performance I've seen.
Best individual performance, I think David Sales at Chesterfield got a majestic 60, and you know, he hadn't got a run all year, so it was good to see him back in the runs, and he was very happy with himself.
Stephen Peters, his double 100 down at Swansea. Unbelievable effort. Vassy, pretty much every time he's got the ball in his hand. Although Brooksy has done a couple of performances which have bowled teams out at Leicester as well, Glamorgan at home, I think. Yeah, and Alan Wakel is putting a few little performances, although we're still waiting for that 100.
That would be at Harleston against my father-in-law, getting a birdie on the hardest hole of the course.
Vassy's 11 wickets in the match against Glamorgan at home.
This season it's been mostly every time Vassy gets the ball in his hand he's ended up with 5 for, and I'll slip in my 200.
Jamenda Vars, period.
Jackie Brooks taking the bull by the horns in our world record partnership. Outstanding performance, Jack Brooks.
Best individual performance, it has to go between two players. I think the 10 for that Varsy got for us doing this year was tremendous, and then obviously the double century from Stephen Peters at Glamorgan.
Scoring Alex Wakely's hundreds this year, I've enjoyed that immensely, and it gives me great pleasure that he's not got one yet.
For me, he'd be up there, Steve. He did 200, but seeing as Vassy seemed to get a wicket every time he bowls, I'm going Vassy's many best individual performances.
Oh, purely for the amount of stick I've given him for the best part of 2 seasons. Lee Daggett, 50 at Grace Road. Unbelievable innings for someone that should be batting 11 every game. I was there with him when he got his 50. Probably the most nerve-wracking couple of balls I've ever faced when he was on 49 at the other end. But he got there eventually. Still got a high score than he did, haven't I?
Yeah, for me, Dave Murphy, 2020 against Notts, decided to slip and take out all 3 stumps as he was trying to run for a quick single. And it was probably the best thing I've ever seen.
You couldn't look more retarded doing it.
Honestly, terrible.
It's been so many wonderful times with the Northants Steelbacks. I think looking at I know the favourite moment. Yeah, that's it. Turning up to the barbecue at Jumbo's father-in-law on the back of a vintage convertible Mercedes and being called Bono made me feel very proud.
I think it was at Hampshire. We played on Sky and beat them in the one-dayers, and at that stage we were nearly at halfway of the season. We played 5-1-5 in the one-dayers. We'd played 6 Champo games and won a lot of them when we were top of the league, I think. So singing the song then, it was pretty good feeling. Felt like big things were going to happen. So far, fingers crossed, when you're watching this, things will have done. So
that would be winning against Hampshire at the Rose Bowl under the floodlights in the CB40 game. I thought that was a tremendous win for us down there under the floodlights and in tricky conditions. And obviously Niall played a magnificent night.
The celebrations after bowling Leicester out for 48.
Personal one, but definitely getting 200. Had a lot of scores close to 200, but finally got over the line. And sinking a 6-foot putt at Harleston to clinch the game off Rowie.
Favourite moment of the season? Haven't got any.
Whenever James Middlebrook bats, we can all take piss out of him.
Favourite moment of the season? For me it must be the amount of tosses that I've won this year.
Getting my first fifer for the club. Quite enjoyed that. Obviously we didn't win the game, but enjoyed my personal performance.
Young man called Wild Man Dave Willie and Jack Brooks. We equalled a new batting world record, which is ridiculous for someone like me to have something like that. But we put Warwickshire to the sword, and the rest is history.
I'd definitely go getting bowled out for 40 odd against Durham. That was, well, don't need to say anything else.
Yeah, there was some pretty bad ones. The 2020 as a whole was pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Probably losing to Scotland. They're a very, very bad team, and I very rarely lose to my life with the Paddies, and to lose to a bloke like Kyle Cutts here and his fellow jocks was a very disappointing part of my career.
On the back of all the 2020 that we played, the worst moment was probably sat on the coach on the way back from Scotland after having Kyle Kurtzer, who's to my left, scoring 100 against us for Scotland. But it wasn't just that, it was the back of all of the tournament. It was very draining, long trip. Yeah, so that wasn't a good point, but we've picked it up from then and we're back on the road.
Worst moment, I've not had many good ones, but suffering the hamstring injury at Worcestershire in the T20 was a pretty low point. It was a nasty tear and obviously took 8 weeks to get back to playing again.
Just a generally disappointing 2020 campaign.
Anytime we lose, or I drop a catch, or travelling back on the coach from Scotland was pretty dire. Just the 9 hours.
My hair, Steve. I had a period of about a week where I had 6 or 7 different colours. It ranged from red, black, Ridian style, orange, peroxide yellow. Black hair and blonde eyebrows doesn't really work, but I'd like to just put the record straight. I'm back to normal.
I'm zooming in.
Worst moment of the season? Probably after starting off very, very well in the Pro 40s, to then bump out with barely winning the game after the 2020s.
Yeah, pretty much the amount of tosses that I've won this year.
Probably the 2 or 3 weeks we played 2020 cricket.
Worst moment? The trip up north to Durham, Lancashire, Scotland. The last 2 2020s were a bit of a shambles, really. Unfortunately, we set a new world record for the worst score. We lost every game. Had to room at Millers in Edinburgh. The Big Bird and the Troll, and the horrendous journey back from Scotland, 6 or 7 hours on the bus with a load of guys, stinking, horrific trip.
We've got two of the vainest men in county cricket, Ben Howgigo and Gavin Baker. That's Ben Howgigo. Maybe Ben Howgigo.
Bit of fluffing hair. He blows it, he takes off, blows
And then
his hair.
Gavin Baker goes like this. This is the Gavin Baker pout.
Check the arms, triceps are out.
Yeah. my traps are looking really good today. Yeah. Gavin Baker, terrible.
I think Ben Howgigo. He loves looking at himself. Not sure really why. He's not a great looking bloke, but Mr. Vain, Ben Howgigo.
Well, definitely Ben Howgigo. But he is, you can tell Ben's looking in the mirror. He doesn't hide it. But Gav Baker, he is the little subtle looks in the mirror, just when he thinks no one's looking. I've caught him a lot doing that. So it's close between the two, but I'll go Ben Howgigo.
That'd be Rob Newton when he finally does put a chair up so he can see himself. He spends a lot of time on it then.
Definitely Ben Howgigo.
And why would that be?
Rates himself, doesn't he?
Close one between Ben Howgigo and Gavin Baker. And if I had any hair, I'd be next to him.
Ben Howgigo. I've never seen a bloke stare at a mirror, look at himself all day long. It's getting a bit boring now, Ben. You need to move on.
Ben Howgigo.
Ben Howgigo.
I think if there's one person that spends more time in front of the mirror than anybody else in the history, it could be Ben Howgigo. If you put a mirror up, he will stop to have a glance at himself and fix his hair.
Ben Howgigo and Gav Baker both do it a hell of a lot. I'm going to go with Howgigo because I live with him and he has to put up with it every day.
Right, I'm not so much worried about the dress sense, but there's a couple of people who wear terrible shoes all the time. Rob White has the same pair of shoes for 40 years. He's had them resold 10 times and they're still terrible.
Yeah, they cost 250 quid. Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Love to get that one in,
they're still rubbish. And closely followed by Hawley, who he wears some good stuff, but he wears trainers with him all the time. Come on, Hawley.
And also the Ferrari stuff.
Ferrari t-shirt, yeah. I think that came out last year.
I've got to throw in David Sayers' jeans and trainers. A lot of jeans and trainers actually going.
Yeah.
That would be the captain. Very, very poor clothes. Although the last couple of months he's picking his game up. He's put away his big black clogs, and he's not wearing as much Ferrari and Harley Davidson kit now these days. So he's picking up his game a little bit. Down to Primark for Hawley.
Well, I would have said before the start of this year it was Andrew Hall, definitely. And then halfway through he certainly changed and he's looking a bit dapper now. So it's got to have to go to young Murphy.
Luke Evans and his short sleeve shirts.
There's a few stinkers. Hawley used to be one of the worst, but miraculously his dress sense seems to have turned around this season. Can't think why.
Yeah, I've got two candidates for that, Steve. One's a batter, his name's Dave Sales. His shirts are like darts players' shirts. Terrible. The other one, he's changed a little bit recently for obvious reasons to a lot of us, but his shoes, those black shoes he wears on a night out, belong in the pit, and that's where they should stay.
And who's that?
Andrew Hall.
Hawley goes out in mining boots. They're horrendous.
There was 2 or 3, Andrew Hall, but he's got a little bit better these last few months, and David Sales.
Worst dress sense. Oof, there's so many bad ones now. No, I think after this year, Alan Wakelstein, after his red shoes that he brought out the one night, didn't go down well.
Purely for the tight trousers he wears, David Murphy. Ridiculous trousers he wears sometimes. Buy some new ones, Murph.
Niall O'Brien. He will ring every single company in the country to ask for free stuff, and somehow he gets a lot of it.
Yeah, I'd go with that. There's You're not very good player. You take a lot of freebies, especially golf stuff.
You cheat for freebies.
Yeah.
Which is...
Rob White cheated in the golf day. That's freebies.
Yeah, Rob White.
And Jumble has a garage full of freebies.
Nobby. But closely, Alex Wakely. He's getting up there. Bit of a poser. Loves free stuff.
Jumble on Nobby, definitely.
Definitely Niall O'Brien, closely followed by David Sales, and if it's anything to do with golf, myself.
Niall O'Brien.
A freebie. David Sales, tightest bloke around. Rob White's got to be up there as well.
David Sales and Niall O'Brien.
The king of freebies, I tell you what, has to be Niall O'Brien.
Probably Niall O'Brien. He loves a freebie. He loves telling everyone about them as well. He does share them every now and then. If Red Bull's coming handy. Cheers, mate.
Actually, I think these bad boys are free. I'm quite partial to a freebie if I can get my hands on it, but the king of all freebies is Niall O'Brien.
That would be myself. I'm king of the stash, king of the freebie.
For me, Belize's. The jockey races.
The pile up.
Yeah. The
10-man pile up on the dance floor.
Jackie Brooks sweating.
Yeah, that's enough.
A lot.
You don't get many pile ups on the dance floor in a nightclub,
No,
really.
that
do you?
was pretty
That's up there,
special.
Belize's.
Belize.
I enjoyed the night a couple of weeks ago. Sazeracs, cocktails, champagne, roots, and then it was really good till 3 AM until David Murphy groped every one of her girlfriend's private parts.
Pre-season, Port Elizabeth. Went to a nightclub called Belizo's after, I think it was towards the end. We had a window of opportunity before you start cake. Yeah, lads had a great night. People on poles. It was, it's good fun.
I'd have to go the team night out when everyone got together and ended up in Artie Reefs.
Messi?
It was a bit loud.
I've had a couple, but I reckon Belizo's in Port Elizabeth.
There's not many at my age anymore, but Port Elizabeth, we had a good night out. I think the nightclub was called Belizo's or something. And we're a pretty tight-knit bunch, and when we have a night out, we all seem to end up on the dance floor at the same time. It's normally a good laugh.
A couple of nights in Port Elizabeth when we were all together just before the season started.
Close. Pre-season in Belize's, which included a pylon on the dance floor. Also a closely followed by a night out where Wake has decided to change his Ralph Lauren t-shirt for a high-vis jacket from some chap in Port Elizabeth.
Best night out? Oh, has to be just a quiet evening in Northampton, anyway.
Jack Brooks' birthday, completely off the cuff. A few of the lads were out and just a good night in general.
She's